Welcome to Billy's Books. We're going to do another Star Wars Thrawn book. This is I believe, the third in the Thrawn trilogy, which is the second trilogy published. The first trilogy comes after this, of course. So this is his ascendancy, as in his ascendancy within his own people. Thrawn is, as you probably recall, freaking brilliant in many ways. He's not just Chiss, like smarter than humans, because Chiss are generally more powerful. He's in fact more smart than most Chiss, the blue people with the glowing red eyes. They have their own special realm. They're very powerful, and then beyond their realm are a bunch of other aliens that they either try to keep clear of or make trouble with. There's a whole bunch of different alien races that are all working together. The Kilji Illume are one of them. There's also the Grisks and a bunch of other people. It's kind of hard to keep track of all these different races. And I might even argue that this book this trilogy, the second trilogy, should be read all at once, because the third book just picks up right where the second one left off, and I'm like, what's going on? It's been a couple months, or like half a year. So you might want to read them all in a row if you haven't already. That's kind of recommended because it gets kind of out of hand really fast. One of the great things about this writer, Timothy Zahn, and his dialogue with people is it's all you see into the mind of people talking, and everyone's always maneuvering and such. So there's a lot of strategic dialogue where people say sort of what they mean, but not quite, and it's up to you to figure out which is which all the time. At one point, Thrawn has an encounter with the Kilji Illume, who keep on saying, our philosophy of order enlightenment requires us to keep you alive so that we can convert you or enlighten you. And of course, everybody else is like, that sounds great. I'd love to be enlightened by you. And there's an encounter at some point where their ship and his ship are sort of fighting over some turf, or arguing over some turf. And the enlightened Kilji try to hold Thrawn in orbit when they're about to leave. And Thrawn responds, you serve here best by permitting me to go my way. Or does your enlightenment require you to take away my freedom of choice? These Star Wars novels are very detective-like in that there's so much going on, and a lot of it is the characters trying to decode all the mixed messages and weird clues and stuff. And one of the things that happens a lot with Thrawn is he's so much smarter, he figures stuff out, and when he tries to explain stuff to other people, he tries to show them his train of thought, and he's always disappointed by how slow they are and annoyed. And some of the more powerful people are like, just get to the conclusion. Like, and he makes these, like, since he's still young in these books, he makes these disappointed faces like, I'm disappointed that you're not more intellectually curious. But okay, here's the results, And sometimes people do things as feints. So it's like all these different parties are all moving in these different ways and trying to give the impression of one thing but really do something else. And it's up to you, the reader, and the characters to decode all that. And it can be quite demanding on your attention. That's why I recommend, don't read one book and then put it away for 6 months and read the next book, because you're going to go, what's going on? You kind of got to read the whole thing. Kind of read it all at once before you forget, because it's a lot to keep in your head, and if you just put it down for a while, you might forget. So that is my recommendation. I hope you enjoy the winter weather. Star Wars is great. Thrawn is my favorite Star Wars character in books. Maybe we'll see him on screen someday. Anyway, if you can't do, review.